Hi everyone, this is Chloe. So today we're going to talk about knowing that you are transgender, or more specifically, how I knew I was transgender. So, let me think. I feel like a lot of people say that they know their whole life, and I feel like I kind of fall under that category, but you know, it took me some time. There was always kind of that lingering feeling of, I don't know if I really belong in the body that I'm in, or I don't feel comfortable in the body that I'm in. But I feel some people, it takes them time to fully understand what that feeling is. So, something that I always tell people who ask me about being transgender or know that I am trans and just beginning my transition is, how did you know? Um, and I always tell them one story, and this is something that happened when I was probably about 5 or 6, and it was when I can remember this still, it's crazy, and it's not like a groundbreaking memory, but this is kind of first when I knew that my gender identity didn't necessarily match my physical body that I was born into. So it was about when I was 5, so I was in kindergarten, and I'm from Texas originally, so um, during the winter it rained a lot, and there wasn't really a lot of ice, but it was rainy, so we didn't get to have recess outside. Um, and so recess was inside one day, and at the time, a lot of my friends were girls, but I still had some friends who were boys, just a couple though, and um, we played house. And I remember running to the little tent thing that we called our house, and we had props in there, so I ran to the house and I grabbed the apron, I grabbed the earrings, I grabbed the wig, and I don't really know why there was wigs in a kindergarten class because that sounds like a lice epidemic waiting to happen, but I grabbed it and I put it on and I said, I am going to be the mother. I want to be the mom. And for me, that's resonated throughout my life. I've always felt very feminine, very maternal, um, and I've never felt like the right person when I look in the mirror. And I think that's something that is echoed through the trans community, is kind of this absence of self when you are in, you know, your state before you transition. And this is something that I've struggled with accepting, because I'm the oldest son out of son. I say son, daughter, but son out of 3, and I'm also my father's namesake, and I'm not gonna say my name, but so I felt like there was always that necessity for me to be the oldest brother, the most, masculine role model for my brothers, and that really never happened. Early on, I identified as female. I can remember always dressing up in my mom's clothes, um, you know, and these are kind of feminine stereotypes, but cooking, cleaning. I've been planning my wedding since I was like 6, and it always involved the wedding dress, and I never, you know, really identified with male things. I mean, identify with some male things, but I think that's more like stereotypical. Like I do like sports, but I don't think that's necessarily a completely male thing. But I think that, as I progressed through my age, I saw that I was feminine. I saw that I was different from the other guys, and I early on figured that, um, from other people, my peers, my parents, social media, um, that feminine boys, because I was born male, um, are gay. And so I kind of thought, okay, early on, I'm feminine, so I must be gay. And I was about 11 years old when I came out as gay to my parents. And it was tough, and I lived as a gay male for a very, very long time, probably until, you know, last year. So until I was 20. Um, and, even in that, I still didn't feel right. I still didn't associate myself with male or gay men. I've always felt so feminine, and a lot of my guy friends and a lot of my girlfriends, just a lot of my friends, period, have always said that I have such this feminine energy that um, they don't feel they've never treated me like a boy. They've never treated me, as a gay man. I mean, sometimes I do act super feminine, and that's just because that's how I identify. But because I am presenting as male at the moment, people associate that with me being flamboyant. But I don't see it as that. I just see that as me being a girl. So as I progressed through my 20s or my early 20s, my late teens and early 20s, I lived as a gay man, and I think this is kind of the turning point for me when I truly realized that I was trans. Sorry, my phone went off. But I got into a really, really serious relationship. I was in a relationship for about 2 years. And at the beginning of that relationship, I was starting to transition, just physically. So I was growing my hair out, growing my nails out, painting my nails, kind of dressing androgynous, so people would kind of slowly start to see, that I was presenting more feminine. And then I met this guy, and we hit it off. And at the time, I was about, 19, and I fell in love. And to me at the time, since I was younger than I am now, love was everything to me. I thought, I've always had thoughts of being trans. I mean, even when I was a child, probably about middle school is when I realized what, a transgender person was. But, I thought that, if I transitioned, no one would love me. I would never be in a relationship. I would never get married. I would never have kids. And so I put love and relationship before, being my true self. And that's something that, I look back and I'm glad because I learned from that. But at the same time, I wish I would have taken that opportunity to transition before. But I learned. And so about a year through that relationship, I started getting really depressed because I was feeling, you know, those trans feelings again and really identifying as a woman. And it was just hard because I was in a super big depression, and I knew that if I started to transition, my boyfriend at the time would not stay with me because for some reason he had this negative feelings about trans people in general. Um, so that we lasted about another year and we broke up, and that's when I started to transition again. Um, so I think being in a romantic relationship really helped me understand my feelings, knowing that I was in love with someone, a gay man, but at the same time, I still felt, like I wanted to be a woman. So it's not me wanting relationship. It's not me wanting other things. It made me realize that truly I am trans and I have to accept that. Um, and I just came out to my parents, so I'll do another video on that. But let me know what you guys think about discovering your trans self, how you guys discovered how you were transsexual and how are transgendered, and how you came to accept that, because I love hearing other people's stories. I'm actually going to go meet one of my girlfriends for lunch, and we're going to talk about how she transitioned, and how she discovered herself. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you like this video, subscribe. I have many more coming. I think next I'm going to do a coming out video. So just stay tuned and see you guys later. Bye.